Are these potatoes? A potato flew around the room. No? No what? Thank you.
Late.
All right. 107 peeps a peeping. That last one. Had some hot action in the chat too.
Yeah.
Not good hot action.
Not good hot action. Shut it down.
Yeah. Some cool it. It's a club national championship hot action. Like, oh Ricky, you don't want this smoke, dog. It's like, what? What, sir? Yeah. Sir, I believe there shall be no smoke. This is a no smoking area. This is no smoking area. Got some dumb ones. Yeah. Real dumb. Keeping it real. Real dumb. Hot potato. Yeah. Oh, my life. Shit. Hot potato. Oh, I am live. Shoot. Yeah. Let's go ahead and in about a minute go live, and then I'll mute it after I do some initial announcing. You just let me know when we're live. What's that? Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NIRSA National Soccer Championship for the Men's Championship Division. Tonight's matchup will be BYU versus Ohio State. Two very different paths for both teams getting here to the finals. Let's review it. For Ohio State, they were number one in pool play, defeating Kansas 4-1 and Cornell 2-0. Defeating Texas Tech 1-0 and Drexel 1-0. And as they went through the playoff bracket, having some increasingly difficult games, first winning against Texas A&M 3-1, then Cal Poly 2-1, and then a very tough overtime victory against Delaware 1-0. For BYU, they were number one in pool play as well. However, they tied Texas A&M 1-1, and they defeated Iowa State 5-0. Their bracket journey started with Drexel, whom they defeated 2-0, Michigan, who they defeated 3-0, and then in the semifinals, UNC 3-0 as well. We'll be starting in about 10 minutes. Don't go away. Starting lineups will be announced shortly.
Peterson. Number 3, Ashton Rushman. Number 16, James Telestar. Number 17, Matthew Streeter. And now the starting lineup for The Ohio State University. Number 23, Jared Gerlacher. Number 25, Daniel Blanche. Number 14, Andrew Cherry. Number 2, Chris Downer. Number 8, Liam Duncan. Number 14, Sean Fitzgerald. Number 0, Samuel Coleman. Number 22, Luke Kaiser. Number 12, Sam Poloni. Number 21, Miles Grant. Number 15, Ryan Shiner. And now, from Brigham Young University, number 18, Nathan Allen. Number 15, Tyler Ashby. Number 22, Andrew Gossett. Number 12, Mitchell Fisher. Number 14, Griffin Garcia. Number 5, Benjamin Gonzalez. Number 11, Jackson Haley. Number 0, Chris Jenkinson. Number 7, Ben Clemson. Number 20, Taylor Meyer. Number 23, Alan Krugler. Number 17, Davis Watler. And now the starting lineup for Brigham Young University. Number 10, Christian Baines. Number 3, Connor Porter. Number 21, Andre Affleck. Number 16, Michael Anderson. Number 6, Adam Canfield. Number 8, Jake Entz. Number 9, Benjamin Fankhauser. Number 2, Seth Fankhauser. Number 13, Isaac Lutrop. Number 4, Kayden Houston. And number 1, starting goalkeeper, Spencer Sadie. The officials for today's contest are referee Otto Leon, and assistant referee Zachary Rutgers and Logan Green. The fourth official is Todd Abraham. Good luck to our competitors in the men's national championship game, The Ohio State University and Brigham Young University.
And with that, we will begin the 2019 Men's Championship Division Final for the 2019 NIRSA National Championship here in Round Rock, Texas, at the Round Rock Multiplex Complex facility. Ohio State will be in the red kits with gray trim. BYU will be in the white kits with blue shorts and white trim. Ohio State will tend the goal on the far side of the field. BYU tending the goal on the near side of the field. And here we go. Ohio State starting with the ball as the Men's Championship Division Final begins. Ohio State working the ball around, moving it toward midfield, closer to the near side of the field. Boots it forward, looking to drop it in. Headed out of bounds by BYU, and it'll be an OSU throw-in. Headed out by number 4 of BYU, Caden Nielsen. Number 23 for Ohio State, Jared Gerlacher will throw in. Long step and throw in. Toss. Skimmed off the head, hit out. Cleared by number 21 for BYU. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Ohio State. Ohio State looking, passes it back. Kicks it, moves it toward midfield. Pass it, retouched. Ohio State being very methodical right now, looking for a crease to attack. Kicking the ball forward, BYU deflects. Ohio State heads, number 14 for Ohio State heads. It's a foot race for the ball. And we will have a foul by Ohio State. Number 18 for Ohio State with the foul. Sean Fitzgerald. BYU putting the ball into play. Number 6 right now with the ball. Boots it downfield. Headed out by Ohio State. Looking to control. Does control. One touch. Another touch. Kicked out of bounds. And it will be Ohio State's throw-in. Number 21, Matisse Rainix will throw in for Ohio State. Throw-in ensuing. Ohio State looking for a throw-in. Gets it in, headed out. Looking for control, Ohio State. Gaining control. Taking the ball close to the far side. Sideline. Kick back. Ohio State looking for space. Looking for a way to attack. Kicked up toward the near side of the field. Again, going toward the center. Slowly moving the ball forward. Moving. One defender to beat. Stolen. Number 9, Benjamin Fankhauser. It's settled. Turn kick. Shot no good. Cleared by Ohio State. Number 10, Christian Bain with that shot previously for BYU. Keeper comes out. Clears the ball for Ohio State. Battle contain the ball. BYU winning the ball. Pass back, but Ohio State retains. And again, Ohio State passing back to their goalie. Goalie puts the ball back into play. Ohio State looking to slow the tempo down a little and look for their opportunity. Both teams with at least 6 games in for this tournament. So both teams potentially battling fatigue. Ball pushed forward. Foot race. BYU will come up and let the ball roll out of bounds. Goal kick for BYU. Spencer Saby to put the ball back in. Kicks it up to number 6 for BYU. Adam Canfield. Kick up the sideline. One touch. With a turn. Contact. Nothing called. BYU maintaining control. Poked away by Ohio State. And Ohio State turns the other direction. Whoa! 22, Luke Kaiser with a little bit of a move. Put the defender back on his rear. And a foul. Foul by number 25 for Ohio State, Daniel Branch. BYU to put the ball back into play. BYU looking to be aggressive. Pass back. 13 to maintain control. Crossfield to number 6, Adam Canfield. Push forward. Touch popped up by Ohio State. Controlled. Defenders on. Ohio State will maintain control. Move it to midfield. Ohio State looking to incorporate its offense now. Pushing the ball forward. Tapping it toward the near side sideline. BYU to defend. Gets it out. Ohio State. Steal by number 10. Tried to push. And batted out by Ohio State. Ohio State up the sideline. Dropped off. Passed back. BYU steals. With the step. Trying to turn the corner. Ohio State holds off the defender. Looking to make a move. Gets by. One shot. Shot and scored by number 22, Luke Kaiser for Ohio State. And Ohio State in the 7th minute, goes up early, 1-0 on BYU. Luke Kaiser with a little bit of some footwork, moving the ball up. Taking a beautiful shot, putting it right past the goalie, number 1, Spencer Saby for BYU. And Ohio State will enjoy an early lead in this men's championship. BYU now. With the kickoff, moving it to the near side of the field. Looking to work the ball. Sends it back across the field toward the far sideline. Canfield again for BYU, pushing it to the other sideline. Number 4 ahead. Dribbled, looking to control, and it is, yes, touched out. It'll be Ohio State's throw-in. Throw-in for Ohio State. Ball being centered by Ohio State. Pass forward. Beautiful touch pass to the near sideline. Ohio State looking for an opportunity. Untouched, brought back out, moving it toward midfield. Pushing back toward midfield. Coming up, boots it, headed off. And it does go out of bounds. AR says it would be BYU's ball, but referee overturns. Says, I had a better look. That'll be Ohio State's ball. Ohio State with the throw-in. Number 23 for Ohio State, Jared Gerlacher to throw in. Jake Entz to give some wallage for BYU. It's thrown up, pushed out by the goalie. Great save by Saby. Ohio State still retains possession. Number 2 for Ohio State, touched. And the AR says, nope, stays Ohio State. Ohio State to throw in on the sideline. Into the 10th minute, Ohio State up 1-0, BYU. Number 23 for Ohio State, Jared Gerlacher to throw in. Long throw in for Gerlacher, running start. Let's go. Popped up by 21 for Ohio State. Cleared by number 2 for BYU, Seth Fankhauser. Header, looking to control. BYU keeps it in. And it is out of bounds. and be a throw-in for Ohio State. Ohio State looking for an opening. Tosses in, number 2, pass back. Stolen by BYU, coming up the near sideline. Going to take it himself. Tries to dump it back. Great slide tackle and steal for the ball from Ohio State. Taken by BYU. Number 3 throws in for BYU. Connor Fordham. Tossed in. It's a foot race. BYU looks to center the ball, and it will be a goal kick for Ohio State. Oh, corner kick. It will be a corner kick for BYU. Number 10 for BYU, Christian Bain will attempt the corner kick for BYU. Up into play. Up, headed out by Ohio State. Not yet cleared. And Ohio State will touch. Throw in for BYU. Number 4 for BYU, Caden Nielsen will throw in for BYU. Throw in. Got feet. And we have a foul. Foul by Ohio State. And yes, it's inside the box, so we do have a PK. BYU to attempt the PK. Number 10, Christian Bain for BYU will take this PK. Official giving instructions to the players. Samuel Froman for Ohio State to try and defend this. Whistle blows. The attempt. And the PK is good, and BYU puts themselves on the board. Number 10, Christian Bain with the score. And we're tied again, 1-1. Coming into the 14th minute of this first half of the game. Lots of action early. And Ohio State. Right. And a little exuberance from BYU causes a foul. Great sportsmanship. And kick back into play. Ohio State moving the ball up the sideline. Far sideline. Kicked well out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for BYU. Number 6 for BYU, taking the ball up, passes, cross field. 13, Isaac Liptrot. Trot ahead, back to Liptrot. Down to the near sideline, sends the ball, headed out. Maintained by BYU, Ohio State will now head it. BYU still maintains control. And BYU will set up their offense. Pass down the sideline, and it'll be too much as Ohio State will get the throw in from the far side, near sideline. Ohio State to throw in. Looking, let's go. Headed out by BYU. Headed. And a foul. Foul against BYU, Ohio State's ball. Ohio State's put it back in play. Back, Ohio State looking to set up its offense. Centers it to midfield by number 14, Andrew Chow. To the far sideline. And tapped out of bounds, touched by BYU, Ohio State throw-in. Throw-in coming for Ohio State. Throws up, some bodily contact. Number 22 for Ohio State controls. Two defenders on, touched, knocked out of bounds by BYU. Ohio State throw in. 17th minute into the game, 1-1, BYU, Ohio State tied. Jared Gerlacher to throw in for Ohio State. Ready, set, and the go for the throw-in. Headed out by BYU, cleared by number 8, BYU, Jake Entz. Foot race for the ball, Ohio State will win that foot race. Kick back to the goalie. BYU in attack mode. Lots of white shirts flying. Turn, kick, shot above the goal. Number 10, Christian Bain, looking for his second goal. BYU very aggressive early on. And it'll be a goal kick for Ohio State. Ohio State look to maintain control on the sideline. Kicked, touched out of bounds, BYU. BYU feeling it a little more energetic right now than Ohio State, especially after that goal. Number 12 for Ohio State will throw in. Sam Polonia throws in. Headed, body contact, body's on the ground, no calls. We'll continue on. Ball heading toward the far sideline. Turns upfield, leads. Oh, with a good touch. Goalie comes in, saved by BYU's Spencer Saby. Telling the team to calm down, move up. He'll put the ball back into play for 13. And BYU will begin its set. BYU looking for a crease, looking for an opportunity to put the ball somewhere. To the far sideline, BYU through the legs. The touch. Ohio State pokes away. Leads with the shoulder. And it will be a foul on Ohio State. BYU with the kick. 6 puts it into play. Cross field. The near sideline. Centers the ball. Look to maintain. The touch to the near sideline. Looking for an opportunity. Passes, dumps it out, and it will be a goal kick for Ohio State. '20th minute here at Round Rock Multipurpose Complex. Scores 1-1. So Ohio State will take a goal kick. Quality boot to midfield. Headed out by BYU. Players going up. No call. Play on. Number 2 looking to take turn. Touched by Ohio State. Turns. Cross. Too much. And that will be a goal kick for Ohio State. put back into play. Defense bringing the ball up. Stolen by BYU. BYU with a nose on the ball, especially in the last few minutes. Looking to take it to Ohio State. Cross, headed out by Ohio State. Ohio State will maintain and move the ball up. Popped up by number 6 for BYU. Looking for control. Ohio State boots it out. BYU settles. OSU slide tackle in. No call. Gets the ball poked out of bounds. It'll be Ohio State throw in. And throw-in will be taken by number 21, Matisse Renix. Ohio State, center of the field, moving the ball, brings it to the near sideline. Booted, kicked out of bounds by BYU. Ohio State's throw-in, near sideline, thrown in. Pass back. Ohio State starting to set up its offense. Centered. Midfield. Booted toward the far sideline. Headed out of bounds by BYU. Ohio State throw in. Jared Gerlacher to throw in for Ohio State. The running start for Gerlacher. Shows, goes, throws. High up, headed out by BYU. Centered, controlled, and booted into the mezzanine. It'll be BYU will bring in a sub. Samey will center the ball, ready for the goal kick. Kicked in, brought in. Crossfield. BYU looking to center to the near sideline. OSU challenging. Tap back to 13. Shoulder to shoulder. No call. It'll be Ohio State's throw-in. Substitutes. Ohio State will subs in. Gerlacher to throw in for Ohio State. Gerlacher looks, shows, goes, throws, popped up. 25 header, no good. Just wide. Daniel Branch for Ohio State. Goal kick for BYU. BYU putting it back into play, near sideline. To the center. Booted toward the near sideline. Ohio State to chase it down. Trying to center. Attacker on, booted out of bounds. BYU throw-in. No, didn't make it out of bounds. BYU maintains to push back. Lip trot to the near sideline. Challenged by Ohio State. Lost the ball. Headed to the center. One tight. 7 dribbling. Pass, one touch. Free person, BYU. Shot on goal. Finds the corner of the net. And that will be a goal for BYU. Number 8, Jake Entz for BYU. With the beautiful shot, pulling the goalie out, putting it past him, and into the far post. 2-1, just like that, BYU. As we're in the 25th minute here. Energy in the crowd is picked up. BYU's fans are feeling it right now. OSU trying to coax its team to get its second goal. 2-1 BYU in the first half here of the NIRSA Men's Championship Division Final for the National Soccer Championship. Ohio State working it around. Boots it up. Midfield, headed out by BYU. Kicked. Worked around. Back to Ohio State. Moved around. Centering it. Centered to the far sideline. Ohio State looking for an opportunity. Back around. Centered. BYU challenging. Nothing yet. Ohio State looking for its opportunity. Moves forward. One touch off to the side, but BYU usually controls. Back to Ohio State. Ohio State to the far sideline. One touch. Gets it through. But BYU controls. But kicked out of bounds. Ohio State throw-in. Number 11 to throw in. And we have a whistle. As the officials will confer. And it looks like we have blood on a jersey, so we'll have a substitution. Isaac Liptrot will come out of the game. Number 22 will substitute in for BYU, Andrew Dossett. Throw in. Ohio State looking to center, kicked out, and it will be a corner kick for Ohio State. Ohio State to set up for the corner. Number 2 for Ohio State, Chris Dowling will take this. Substitutes in for Ohio State and for BYU. Whistle blows in, corner kick up, headed, and it'll be cleared by 16. Required by Ohio State. Ohio State passing it back to midfield, down to the far sideline, through the legs, nice move. Kicked and last touched by Ohio State. Goal kick for BYU. Substitution in for Ohio State. Sabi will put the ball back into play. Crossfield. Dossett. It's number 6, Canfield. Canfield looking for an opportunity. Kicks it forward. Boots it, looking to try and clear. It's a foot race. Kicked. Trying to keep the ball in. Touched. Ohio State's throw-in. '30th minute here in Round Rock, Texas. 2-1 BYU over Ohio State currently. BYU looking to center. Stolen by Ohio State. Leg kick, and that looked like a doozy. Referee coming over to check things out. And
What is it? Who?
and a red card will be issued. And the red card looks like to be on number 20 for Ohio State, Jack Brooks. Looked like he took a cleat right into the midsection. BYU is down. Unsure of who the BYU player is right now. And that player was number 2 for BYU, Seth Fankhauser. He's up and moving about. So Ohio State issued a red card. BYU to put the ball into play. Up, headed, cleared out, maintained by number 10 for BYU. Touched, and it will go out of bounds. And a foul for BYU will give Ohio State a kick. Booted into play, quality boot to midfield, headed, controlled by Ohio State, stolen by BYU, reobtained by Ohio State, passed back to the goalie. Back out, Ohio State looking to set up. Ohio State playing a player down now with the red card. This will be Ohio State. Be a touch out of bounds by Ohio State. BYU's throw in, subs coming into the game. Number 3 to throw in for BYU, Connor Fordham tosses in. BYU with a distinct advantage now. Ohio State to maintain control, looking for an opportunity. Kicked, centered by BYU. Looking to take it up. Ohio State, pass back. Back to the defensive half of the field for BYU. Looking to set up again, BYU with a man-up advantage. Shoulder to shoulder, looking to make a move. Save! Great ups by the keep. Ohio State to throw it back in. Rolls in. Ohio State moving the ball up the field. BYU with the steal. Looking to center, lead through, and the goalie will let it roll for a goal kick. Ohio State with a red card earlier, playing a man down now. Also down in the game, 2-1 to BYU. As we get into the 36th minute here at the Round Rock Multi-Purpose Complex. Stolen, and we have another foul. Referee talking things over. Foul on Ohio State. BYU will put the ball back into play. Whistle back in. 6 to put it back into play. Near side corner. Far boot. Looks to center. Head. Wide right of the goal. Nathan Allen with the header just missing. Goal kick for Ohio State. Substitutes in for Ohio State. Ohio State moving the ball upfield to the far sideline. Touch to move it forward. Repass back. Good touch. Good cross. Looking to move. And Ohio State looking to recenter. Brings it back out. Turns. Looks to cross. Brought out by BYU's number 6, Adam Canfield. Looking to touch. Ohio State getting aggressive. Needing to be aggressive. Looking to center. Kicks toward the near sideline, controlled, bringing it back toward midfield. Ohio State looking to set up. One touch, tries to get past. Defender on his hip. Kick, booted, and it looks like we'll have a corner kick. Ohio State, corner kick, an opportunity to score here. In the 38th minute, first half, 2-1 BYU right now. Ohio State's number 11 will take this, Isaac Arefi. Measures, fires. Long cross, Ohio State looking to control, shoulder to shoulder. And BYU will tap it out, giving Ohio State a throw-in. Gerlacher to throw in for Ohio State. Shows, goes, throws. It's a high one. Header, headed out by BYU's number 9. What a great save. Got past the goalie, but Benjamin Fankhauser for BYU headed it out. Beautiful play. Ohio State looking to maintain control. 39th minute here. The first half. Touched and out of bounds. Ohio State will throw in. Touched. Booted up the near sideline. Booted out by BYU. Goalie to come in, put it back out. Ohio State to the far sideline, looking to try and control, misses. It's going out of bounds. 14 to throw in, Griffin Garcia. 40th minute here in the game. Less than a minute to go until the half. Ohio State, 3 defenders on. BYU clears, moves it toward the center, down the far sideline. 7 looking to cross. Looking to cross. One touch, kicked, popped out, reheaded back in. Ohio State looking to clear, touch. BYU looking to try and keep the ball in play. Little pushing and shoving. And it will go as a goal kick. 10 seconds left in the half. And it'll be a lazy kick in. And that will be the half for both teams. Lots of action. Red card for Ohio State, leading them to be a man down. BYU putting 2 in the back of the net. Ohio State 1. And that is your halftime score here at the Round Rock Multi-Purpose Complex for the 2019 NIRSA National Soccer Championship for the Men's Championship Division. We'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, we are back now for the second half of the men's championship final. BYU will control to start the half. Kick to the far sideline. Through. Challenged by BYU. Ohio State will still maintain control. Kick around to the near sideline. Ohio State's number 11. Pass back. Booted to the far side. Hit out of bounds. BYU throw in. BYU's number 3 will throw in. Connor Fordham throws, headed up, touched. And the official looks like will call a foul. Or not. It's actually a throw in for Ohio State. Number 12 for Ohio State will throw in. Sam Polonia tosses, headed out. BYU looking, touch. We have a whistle. We have a player down for BYU. Referee will go over to take a look. Can't quite catch the player. It'll be a foul. BYU will get a kick. Looked like number 3, Connor Fordham for BYU. Took a little bit of a hit and was down. BYU to put the ball back in. Big boot to the center of the field. Ohio State to head. Dangerous move, but the goalie clears it out. Samuel Froman. BYU passing back on the near sideline. Pushes it forward. One touch. Player down. Ball up. Header. Looking. Lots of bodies hitting the ground. Nothing yet. And will touch. Go out of bounds. It'll be BYU's ball for the throw-in. Sideline having discussion with the official about contact, but we'll move on. BYU throwing in. Headers all around again, straight up, and we have a whistle. As will be BYU's ball again, another foul by Ohio State. Ohio State playing a man down, again, red card in the first half, eliminating a player for Ohio State on the field. BYU with a one-person advantage. Kick in, move up the near sideline, chasing down the ball. And it is out of bounds, and it will be Ohio State's throw-in. Ohio State to throw in. Number 11, Isaac Arefi with the throw in, headed out. Headed again. Ohio State boots it, looks to head near the sideline, and it will go out of bounds. It will be Ohio State's throw in. Isaac Arefi to throw in, headed by BYU, headed again. Ohio State looking to control, 2 defenders on, ball in the air. Somebody looking to settle. Ohio State settled. Turn, chipped out of bounds, and will be Ohio State's throw-in. Quick throw-in by Ohio State looking to set up. Popped up. Headed, looking to center. And we have a foul, and now the Ohio State bench up, wondering what's going on. Ohio State player down. And it looks like it'll be a yellow card by number 6 for BYU. That's Adam Canfield. The official calming things down before measuring off. Official talking to the wall. Ohio State ready to kick in. Whistle goes. The kick is up. Way far and out, and that'll be a goal kick for BYU. Good opportunity there for Ohio State to make something happen. Booted too far. Goal kick for BYU. BYU to put the ball in play. Quality boot to midfield. Chased down, foot race. Maintained inbounds by Ohio State. And another body on the ground. And a foul by Ohio State. And a yellow card will be shown. And it looks like the card will be against number 23 for Ohio State, Jared Gerlacher. Team's starting to get a little chippy in this half. BYU will put the ball back into play. Ball is up. To the far side post. Maintained. Number 9 for Ohio State, looking to up the sideline, and it's kicked out of bounds. And again, bodies on the ground. And a lot going on right now as the officials try to clear space. Both teams getting upset with the amount of contact on the field. Substitutes in for Ohio State. The official having a discussion with the Ohio State team. The AR having a discussion with both the BYU and Ohio State players on the far sideline. And we will try and put this ball back into play. So the last card that was just given out was actually to number 9 for Ohio State, Justin Kowalski. Throw in coming for Ohio State. Thrown into the ground. BYU looking to clear. Ohio State will. Cross field. Centering the ball. One touch. Dribbling it up. Popped up by number 12. Looking to be headed. And booted out by BYU and cleared. Cleared to the far side of the field. Back to the center of the field. BYU making a run. One touch. One person to beat. And a shot tries to cross. Doesn't make the cross. Kicked out by number 11, Isaac Arefi. Had a great opportunity one-on-one. Decided to cross it. Nobody there. Not enough on it. BYU, though, with another chance. Goalie coming out. And the official blows the whistle, calling off sides. Ohio State to put the ball back into play. Booted cross field by number 1, Holland Clark. Clark cleared out by BYU. Clark retouches, sending it up the far sideline. BYU looking to clear, sending it back. BYU centering. Good touch. Stolen, controlled by Ohio State for the moment. Toward the center of the field. Stolen by BYU. BYU making its move upfield. Passes to the far sideline. Wing looking to come in. Dribbles it to the center, centers it. At midfield, BYU controls. Turned it over to Ohio State. Ohio State passing it up to the far sideline. Foot race for the ball. And BYU slide kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for Ohio State. Gerlacher will come in for Ohio State to throw in. Lots of aggression at the beginning of this half. 2-1 BYU right now. Shows, throws, header. And it'll be no good. And it looks like it will be BYU's ball. As we take time. Beautiful night here in Round Rock, Texas. 2019 Men's Championship Division final in the NIRSA National Soccer Championship. Ohio State booting the ball to the far sidelines. Will be out of bounds. And BYU's throw in. Substitutions coming in for BYU. BYU to throw in, throws up, headed out by Clark. Booted, move forward, reheaded, headed again by Ohio State. Ohio State looking to settle the ball. One touch, passes through. Holland Clark centers, boots it upfield, reheaded back out. Clark looking to win this ball, dribbling it center of the field, pass off to the near sideline. Boots ahead, foot race for the ball. Ohio State crosses, but headed out by BYU. Cleared by BYU. By number 14. Ohio State stolen, up, foul called. And Ohio State will get the kick, puts it in right away. Settling, looking for somewhere to put it. Body's on the ground again. And it looks like Ohio State will get a kick from a foul. One person wall goes away. Free kick in. Looped up by Ohio State. Kick to the way far side. Headed to the other side of the field and out on the far sideline. Ohio State's throw in again. Gerlacher to throw in for Ohio State. Again, 2-1, BYU over Ohio State. Shows, goes, throws, headed out. Gerlacher to come up and get this. Booted up, headed, and cleared for the moment by BYU. Ohio State trying to center the ball, looking for a touch. Booted out by BYU. Ohio State settling the ball, looking to recenter. Does a spin, touch. Ohio State tried to get around the defender. With a touch out of bounds, it'll be BYU's throw in. BYU with a substitution. Throw in. BYU bringing the ball up the near sideline. Looking. Passing it off. Defended. Touched. Out of bounds. BYU's throw in. Gives up the ball. Throw in attempt. Looking to head. Looking to settle. Cross. Attempt, but blocked by number 12 for Ohio State. Resettled. Brought up the middle. One through. Looking for a kick. Good save. Great shot, but better save by Ohio State. Samuel Froman. That ball will go to Ohio State for the throw-in, and we have a player down for Ohio State. Great shot attempt, but a wonderful save, diving save to his right by Froman. Keeps BYU from going up 3-1. Throw-in for Ohio State. Ohio State to throw in. Held up for substitutions by Ohio State. 57th minute here. 2-1 BYU. Throw in by Ohio State. Headed by BYU. Looking to settle toward the far sideline. Number 12 for Ohio State. Up the field. Lost it. Oh. Stolen. Turned around. BYU looking to the far sideline, looking to center. Stolen by number 1, Holland Clark. Ohio State missed chance stopper and touched out of bounds. And will be BYU's ball. BYU players looking to the fans for a little bit of energy. BYU looking to center, back to the far sideline. Upfield, dribble once. Center to midfield, taken by Ohio State. Settled. Falls over, picked up by BYU. Through ball. One touch, looking. Great stop. 22 with an excellent stop. That's Luke Kaiser, who has OSU's lone goal this game. Ball out of bounds. It'll be BYU throw-in. Throws in. It's midfield. Booted, going toward the far sideline. Booted, out of bounds. Ohio State throw-in. Ohio State substitutions. Sam Polonia for Ohio State will throw in here once the substitution's clear. Whistle blown, Ohio State to throw in. Polonia. Settled by BYU. Pass to the near sideline. Good touch, turns back. Back to the sideline. Kicked out of bounds. OSU to throw in. Booted. Taken to the center of the field. Foot race. Luckily cleared by Clark. Moving upfield toward the sideline. Foot race for the ball. BYU get there first. Ohio State falls over. Too little, too late. Goal kick for BYU. BYU putting the ball back into play, immediately settled by Ohio State.
Ohio State working the ball toward the far sideline. Looking, shoulder to shoulder. Fumbles the ball out of bounds. BYU throw in immediately by BYU. BYU far sideline, looking to move the ball up. Settled by Ohio State. Through the legs, nifty move. Off BYU. OSU throw in. Gerlacher to throw in. Gerlacher. Waiting. Shows it. Goes. Throws. High looper toward the goal. To be kicked. Cleared out. And cleared again by BYU. Foot race for the ball. Kick. Again, a foot race. Cleared. And a foul. Foul by BYU. Ohio State will get the ball. Froman to put the ball in play. The 60-second minute here in the game. BYU up 2-1. Shoulder to shoulder down the far sideline. And bodies hitting the ground. And the official having a discussion with one of the players. And it looks like Gerlacher will throw in again. Gerlacher waiting for his team to be ready. Substitute for BYU coming in for the moment. For being a man down right now, Ohio State staying in this game. Goes, throws, high looper toward the net, headed out by BYU, cleared. Ohio State chasing down toward the near sideline. Centers the ball. Ball at midfield, booted right into the goalie's hands for BYU. Distributed going up the near sideline, touch. Two defenders on, Ohio State steals. Looking to center the ball, restolen by BYU. BYU coming up the center of the field, moving toward the near sideline. Up the near sideline. Touch forward, looking to center again, through, and it's booted out and cleared by Ohio State's Holland Clark. Throw in for BYU. You go, dive in, beautiful save. Froman redistributes the ball. OSU coming up the far sideline. Number 2, upfield. Clark, shoulder to shoulder. It's touched by BYU. Ohio State throw in. Substitutions in for both BYU and Ohio State. 65th minute here. BYU in a close game, still leading 2-1. Gerlacher with the throw in. Goes, throws toward the goal, headed out and popped up, potentially cleared by BYU. It's a foot race. A little bit of shouldering, a little bit of holding, but OSU, number 24, Samuel Araganoff, gets a steal up the near sideline, tipped out, touched by BYU. Ohio State with the throw in. Ohio State to throw in goes. Throws. High looper header. And it will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Ohio State with that strategy of throwing the ball in, trying to get that header in. Ohio State down a player. Again, ejection in the first half. Ohio State playing down. A man on the field still hanging in there. BYU up 2-1. Ohio State settles the ball. Gets it to midfield. Ohio State looking, passes to the far sideline. Keeps it in bounds. Dribbling up the sideline. Stolen. Little action. And it will be BYU's throw-in. BYU throws in immediately. Booted forward. Some space. Looking to settle. Not cleared. Calling for a handball. No call. And the official does call a foul on Ohio State. It will be BYU's kick. BYU for the kick. They'll be taking my number 10 for BYU. Christian Bain. Both crowds getting into it right now. Who can cheer louder than the other? Two-person wall in front of Bain. Whistle blows. Kick is up. Missed. But lucky. Cleared out by number 18 for Ohio State. And cleared out again by Urlacher. Ohio State moving the ball up to the near sideline. Lots of shoulder to shoulder. Looks like we have a shove. And it looks like the official having a discussion. And there will be a yellow card for BYU. 22, Andrew Dossett for BYU will be carded. Ohio State will get the kick. Lots of cards in this game on both sides. Ohio State setting up for this kick. Waiting for the official's whistle. Whistle blows. Kick is up. Headed out by BYU, cleared. Foot race for the ball. Shoulder to shoulder. Ohio State will maintain control for now. Two defenders on. Touched by Ohio State. BYU throw-in. 69th minute in this game. 2-1 BYU over Ohio State. Thrown in by BYU. Sent to the center of the field. Turn. Goes to the near sideline. Looking. Moves it forward. Looks like a one-on-one. Defender coming up. Dribbling around. And the official on top of that calling a foul on Ohio State. Legs tangling. BYU ball. Ohio State. Four-person wall. Official pacing off, showing Ohio State where they need to be. It looks like number 9 for BYU. Hang on. Yep. Number 9, Benjamin Fankhauser will take this shot. It's up. Bent. And just misses. Outside the post. Close shot. Missed it by a good 6 inches. And it'll be a goal kick for Ohio State. 70th minute here, 2-1 BYU. Headed by BYU, looking to be settled. Not settled. Little shove action. No call. Ohio State maintains control. Taps. Ohio State's throw in. Substitution in for Ohio State. Throw in for Ohio State. Moving across field. Clark across field. Ohio State dribbling to the far sideline. Looking to settle. Can't settle the ball. Out of bounds. BYU throw in. Throw in by Connor Fordham for BYU. Headed out by Ohio State. One touch looking to settle. Oh, collision. Players down. More players stumbling. Ball clears out. BYU lasts a touch. Ohio State throw in. Substitutions coming in. Thrown in by Ohio State. Centered. Ohio State looking to settle the ball to the near sideline. I say one defender on. Gets past. Centered. Up the side. Tries to head. No good. Ohio State looking to center. No. Kicked out by BYU. Ohio State looking to recover. Foot race. BYU wins. Taking up the far sideline. He's up the sideline. Ohio State comes back, centering the ball. Taken by number 15, Ryan Schoner. Ohio State needing a goal to send this into overtime. In the 73rd minute, Ohio State foot race. BYU loses. Ohio State looks to center. Ohio State slowly pushing the ball upfield. Looking to attack. Two defenders on. Turning the corner. Can't make it. Ohio State looking to sub. Got a throw in for BYU. BYU also sending in subs. Whistle blows, throw in to be taken by Connor Fordham. Tosses it in. Foot race for the ball. One defender on. Ohio State wins that. Taken by number 18, Ohio State. Looks to touch. Fumbles the ball. Touch. Keeps the ball in. Great feet by Ohio State. Slide tackle. Takes the ball out of bounds. OSU throw in. Throws in. Controlled by 15 for Ohio State. Pass back to 12. Upfield. Headed out by BYU. Settled. Pass back. From behind, BYU, number 9 for BYU, sets it upfield, gets through, and offsides will be called on BYU. Coming up to the 76th minute. Roughly 5 minutes to go in this game. Ohio State needing to make a push to tie this game. BYU up 2-1. Ball up in the air, in front of the goal, headed out by BYU. BYU just looking to try and get the ball in the other half of the field. Good turn, makes a turn left. 2 defenders on. Push from behind on Ohio State. And it will be a foul on Ohio State. It'll be on number 14, Andrew Chow. The official to walk off. Ohio State will send 4 people to the wall. Right now, it looks like number 9, Benjamin Fankhauser, will be the kicker for BYU. The official putting things into place. Whistle goes. Number 9 will take it. It's through, but the goalie covers. Froman with the cover and redistribution for Ohio State. Quality boot to midfield. Less than 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Ohio State looking for some way to score. BYU coming out with the ball and a foul by Ohio State, and it will be a yellow card. Andrew Chow with a yellow card for Ohio State, giving the ball to BYU. 78th minute, about 2:30 left in the game. Number 3 to tee off. Pops the ball up. Be settled by Ohio State. Ohio State looking to make one last push here. Again, Ohio State down a man from a red card in the first half. Stolen by BYU. Cross. Looking to one time. Booted. And it's by the goalie. Goal! With a turn and fire. BYU. Number 16, Michael Anderson. With the turn and fire. Gets by Froman, and that puts BYU up 3-1, and that could potentially just seal the deal at this point. Giving Ohio State credit, playing a man down for much of the game to get themselves to a point where they could even be competitive has been pretty amazing for Ohio State. Ohio State sending the ball up. Be a goal kick for BYU. Almost a minute left in the game in the 79th minute. BYU to put it back into play. Quality boot to midfield. Headed up by Ohio State. Less than a minute to go in the game. 3-1 BYU. Ohio State looking to chase down. Ohio State looking for the cross. Deflected by BYU. Just cleared. Ohio State looking for a way to get that ball in. BYU just looking to keep the ball away from the net. Roughly 30 seconds left in the game. Ohio State to re-kick. Puts the ball in. Booted. Headed. A mess in the box. Legs. Oh! Shot on goal, but it's stopped by BYU. Saby with the save. 5 seconds left in the game. They've kicked the ball out of bounds, and that is the game. BYU is your 2019 NIRSA National Men's Championship Division champion. A great game by both teams, hard fought, lots of Lots of action on the field. Lots of energy. In the end, though, BYU with the national championship. Again, a fantastic game by both teams. If you're interested in our blog, please check us out at play.nirsa.net/blog. Also, check out our social media, Instagram and Twitter at NIRSA Champ. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for watching the 2019 NIRSA Men's National Soccer Championship final game.